Rania Braxi is marrying Sofyan in Tlemcen. The families have agreed to both marriages, and the Fatha, effectively the religious ceremony, has taken place weeks, sometimes months before. The evening before the big day, the girls have held their henna parties, and on the same night, it's Ali's turn. His henna party is in his own home, with the older women in the family close by, and the younger ones in the background. The celebrations are based on Algerian tribal war dances. Ali's mother uses some of the henna remaining from Sabrina's henna party to put in her son's hand. Sabrina and Ali's wedding in Mascara is relatively modest, but there are a lot of guests, which means they all have to be fed. Food is a really important part of the events and the hospitality. The groom's family hosts this meal during the wedding day, either at their home or at a hired venue. While in the kitchen, all kinds of exotic dishes are cooking. From al-harira, a local spicy meat and vegetable dish, to roasted meat and minced meatballs. Dessert is sweet prune tagine with dried currants and roasted almonds. Accepting an invitation to this meal is a way for friends and relatives to show their respect to the groom and his family.
في القديم كان العرس الجزائري 7 أيام و7 ليالي، ودركة ولا بس ليلة واحدة لأنه حسب القدرة الشرائية والقدرة الاقتصادية للناس.
The next step for the happy couple is more of a public appearance than the kind of ceremony you'd see in other cultures and religions. It takes place at Sabrina's house and starts with the entrance of the bride and groom to the accompaniment of drums and al-qarqabou music. Even at a relatively modest wedding celebration, the bride might wear as many as 7 or 8 different outfits. To start with, Sabrina wears the traditional dress from the eastern city of Constantine, the Gandura Furgani, a long black velvet gown embroidered with gold thread. And then they come back dressed in white, symbolizing chastity and purity, the closest equivalent of a Christian or Western wedding dress. This is a moment of true celebration. The bride and groom, in wedding clothes, sitting together as a sign of their new union, with the female members of their families sharing in their joy in dance. Next, the moment the bride ceremonially leaves her parents' house, a statement of the couple's new married status.
بون كي تخرج العروس من الليل من الدار باها يحطوا لها بيضه اللي لازم تدوس عليها. هذه البيضه معناتها انه ايامها كلها ان شاء الله تكون بيضه، انه فال ابيض ليها. كمان كاين طقوس ثانيه اللي هي تروح ترفد السكر وتقيسوا على لي زانفيتي، معناتها انه فال انه كل ايامها مع اهل زوجها وزوجها عائلتها الجديده تكون كلها حلوه ان شاء الله.
For a family in Mascara hosting a traditional wedding, observing tradition is important, and the fantasia performance on horseback is part of that. A group of armed horsemen in full battle dress charge in formation. Also called the game of gunpowder, it's based on the military traditions of the Berber and Arab desert horsemen.
القوم يعني عنده دور كبير في إحياء الأعراس وإحياء الحفلات وإحياء كل هذه المواسم البهيجة، ولا بد يكون فيه قوم ولا بد يكون فيه بارود، دليل على الرجولة ودليل على الشهامة كذلك. وفي نفس الوقت يعني في نفس الوقت يكون فيه دليل على شهومة العريس، ولا بد يكون فيه بارود يعني في حفل زفاف في العرس نتاع العريس تاعنا. يعني البارود حاجة يعني دليل على الرجولة في كل هذا الأمر.
The couple are taken on a car parade through the streets and neighborhoods, stopping at specific locations for souvenir photos. To express their feelings toward their history and identity, Sabrina and Ali make a stop at the statue of Amir Abdel Qadir, the symbol of Algerian resistance against colonialism and founder of the modern Algerian state. They also stop for a photo opportunity under the Dardara tree, the place where the people of Mascara first swore allegiance to Amir Abdel Qadir in 1832. At sunset, they arrive at Ali's house so that Sabrina can be welcomed by her mother-in-law with dates and milk. These traditions are deeply rooted in the Mascara region. The white of the milk and the sweet taste of dates are considered a good omen for the couple and a sign of affection and welcome for the bride. Sabrina soaks up the atmosphere and the warmth of the moment, surrounded by members of her new family.
الرقص حاجة أساسية في العراس تاع الجزائر، وفي الغرب تاع الجزائر نلقاو أهل العروسة وأهل العريس يرقصوا أو كما نقولوها يلعبوا، ونلقاو باغ اكزومبل الراقص ولا اللاعب يهز كتافه ويستخدم عصا، وبدل ما نسميها رقص نسموها لعب، وهذا احتراما للجنس الذكري. ورقص في الجزائر له خاصية أنه ولد من رحم المقاومة الجزائرية، والدليل على ذلك أنه هذه الرقصات هي رقصات بطولية حربية سواء في أدائها أو في لباسها، حيث نجد أن الراقص أو هذا اللاعب يلبس عباءة فضفاضة مع سروال فضفاض ونسموه بالسروال اللوبيا، لأنه في نفس هذا الراقص يكون في نفس الوقت فارس ولاعب.
In Tlemcen, Rania's ceremonial exit from her parents' house is altogether more extravagant.
يبان القفطان والشدة التلمسانية في العرس التلمساني بشكل واضح ملفت للانتباه. بيبان انه هذا عرس تلمساني من خلال الزي. الوغ تلبس القفطان اللي يكونوا جابوه لها وتكون شادة ويغطوا لها وجهها بالحايك، يعني تخرج مغطية بالحايك تلمسان، تخرج من دار باها وهنا يطيب العرس. تبدا السهرات والموسيقى المختلفة بما فيها القرقابو والموسيقى الأندلسية. الجميع يكون يستنى فيها برا، يستنى خروجها، وكي تخرج يبدا لو كورتاج يدوروا بها في البلاد في أنحاء تلمسان كلها.
Rania's is a slightly more upmarket wedding, and she leaves wearing the local beautiful bridal costume and enveloped in a white silk hayek. The wedding procession moves off towards the family home of her new husband, Sufyan, and their Fantasia horsemen go with them. Sufyan's sisters and his recently married relatives welcome Rania, dancing to al-Qarqabu music, all wearing the shadda. The Fantasia starts the public celebrations. The horsemen attract crowds, so what better way of announcing your marriage to the world? As with Sabrina and Mascara, Rania in Tlemcen is welcomed with milk and dates, a way to wish her a white and bright future with her new family. In another ritual, Rania's mother-in-law offers her a key so that Allah may open every door for her.
ايوه ويدخلوها ويقعدوها تحت هذاك الحايك تاعها، يستروها ويدوروا عليها العرايسات هما مش يشطحوا لا ميوزيك ريها ركاينه ولا مديح ولا هذا، اي يدوروا عليها. كي يدوروا عليها هي ريها لتحت خوتها ولا ري تعمل لها العكر، العنوان تاع هذاك رمز الحشومه، بالمعنى عروستنا حشمانه تحشم هذاك كل ورده، وهذوك النقط البيضاء دي فوقهم هذيك يسمى ري تفتح ريها تفتح كل ورده. هذا هو المعنى تاع داك العقل، بالمعنى عروستنا حشمانه وري ماشيه تفتح كل ورده في بيتها. على العروسه
Rania and Sofyan's wedding celebrations continue into the night. Don't forget, he has yet to meet his bride on his wedding day. But that's about to change. Dressed in a white silk burnous, the groom mounts a horse and sets off to meet his new wife, accompanied by Fantasia horsemen. In another ritual handed down over the generations, Sofyan gets ready to throw his burnous to his friends amid the gunfire and more yuyus. His mother sends him off with the Hand of Fatma necklace to protect him from the evil eye. Dressed in a beautiful shedda, his sister wipes the sweat from his brow. Then he makes the trip on horseback to his home to meet his bride, and uncovers her face in the presence of guests and family. Then it's photo time for the family album. The shedda that Rania is wearing, the Tlemcen bridal costume, is so highly prized that UNESCO has put it on its list of intangible cultural heritage. It used to be worn by princesses and notables of the Zianid kingdom. It is made of several layers of silk and accessories, a velvet kaftan embroidered with gold thread, plus the pointed cap and long earrings. This is a great scene with the bride and all the female guests in their traditional costumes, in mixed company with the groom, just gradually dancing the night away.
نسمي هذه الليلة ليلة التصديرة، اللي حيث أن العروس طول الليلة وتكون عاملة عرض أزياء، كل نص ساعة تلبس لبسة جديدة وتروح تغير تعاود تلبس لبسة جديدة وهكذا حتى اللي تكمل الليلة. يكون حواليها بزاف ناس تاخذوا صور، يغنيوا معاها، يرقصوا معاها، يفرحوا معاها.
Earlier in the day, Rania did her tasdira, a kind of bridal fashion show. This is Rania in her karakou, the wedding outfit of Algiers. Although many of the rituals and costumes are common to all traditional marriages, there are variations depending on wealth, region, and social status. In another part of Tlemcen, our third groom, Abdelrahman, is getting ready for the biggest day in his life with his mates at the barber shop. New life, new haircut. Abdelrahman's wedding to Khadija will be bigger than the other two we've seen, and held at a special venue. Khadija is escorted by armed horsemen, and she arrives at the venue completely covered by a white hayek with her mother and close friends. Algeria is a modern country, but ritual runs deep in wedding celebrations. Here, the recently married female relatives surround Khadija holding the hayek, while underneath, another woman draws the red circles with white spots on her cheeks. And when she's unveiled, she's wearing the shedda, the Tlemcen bridal costume, covered in heavy jewelry and hundreds of pearls. Everything at this wedding seems bigger, more resplendent and extravagant than Sabrina and Ranya's celebrations. Then Prince Charming arrives on his white steed. Cue more yuyus. Mum welcomes him, and Khadija gets a kiss on the forehead. And then the two of them get carried shoulder high in decorated thrones called tufur. There'll be food after this ceremony, plenty of it, probably. But for now, it's hard to imagine a bigger, noisier, or full-on event. Well, there you have it, the whole gamut of traditional wedding festivities in Algeria. In one family celebration, the richness of Algerian customs and heritage, clothing and costumes, art, music and food, all rooted in history, but still very much alive among families like these in cities like Tlemcen and Mascara today.